Welcome, everybody, back to the Nemesis Gaming League. It's your friendly neighborhood Gallium, back with potentially one of the biggest matchups we're going to see. It's Frost taking on Aurora in the Novice League, and despite Aurora being the 8th seed, I think they have a lot to prove here, and I'm joined by none other than Malo, the management member beast. How you doing, Malo?
You know what? I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself, man?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. I can't wait to see both of these teams take the pitch. I mean, they're so great, aren't they? I mean, Frost has been the best team all season, and Aurora making a very, very promising play-in run. I mean, they surprised me. I didn't think they would make it to this point, especially since Speed has been playing so much with Hypernova, and he hasn't played a whole lot with this team. But now that his team and him have found chemistry, they're ready to go after this Frost team, and it is going to be an absolute bar burner here, Malo.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be I'm going to use a term some people might have heard, but a slobber knocker, because it's going to be nonstop action for the entire series, and I hope we go to a game 7 because I'm going to enjoy every minute of this.
Yeah, should be a good one, and it's Diaz. Oh, almost have a goal early. Lasagna Man, the former provisional player on the shot there. Can't quite find it. It's now Chad. And he's been very great in the Novice League the past couple of seasons as Lasagna Man AFK. He might have some internet issues. Wonder if Frost is going to call for a reset. Doesn't seem like they're opting to do so, however. Dan tried to pop it high. Instead, it's going to be Taco. Speed gonna back off of his touch, and now it's Ultimus with the touch of his own. Speed pops it high. Dan now has a touch of his own. He's gonna go up with the ball. A beautiful 50 from Ultimus down the other way, and Dan and Izached are in a 2v3 situation, but these 2v3 situations, they can be a little tricky sometimes because the rotations from both sides, they can kind of collide with each other, and it actually sometimes is more difficult for the 3-man rotation to take down this 2, Malo.
Yeah, it really is. And, I've been in that situation a number of times, and really it can play to someone's strength, being a 2v3 if you're a 2's main. You can really just pretty much ignore the one person and just go around them and put the pressure on like Frost have been doing here.
Yes. The only 2v3 that I've seen this season actually came from the Venganza versus Vanguard game in the Titan League, and Venganza actually almost beat Vanguard in the 2v3, and oh, that was so close from Taco.
I think he's back too.
Oh, is he? That's such good news.
Yeah, I don't see him over there. Oh no,
he just got bumped.
Oh, yeah, man. That's what it was.
That's so
I had my
sad.
hopes up.
That's so sad. Well, regardless, they're doing pretty well, but that could be a little dangerous. Taco going to put it off the backboard. Speed has a shot. Oh, Izached, and Lasagna Man has officially lost connection, and that's going to be a goal, and now they can't reset, Malo.
No, it's been a while, but, I know there's some particular rules when it comes to resets that, depending the time and what the score of the series is, you could potentially ask for it. But right here, regardless, they're not trying to question it. So for them, I guess they're just going to play through it here, and we're going to see what they do. So far, in a way, oh, what a demo there by Dan. In a way, and Izached, in a way, you would think that
Wait a second.
Potentially. Oh my. Dan just passing by everyone there.
That was insane. Coming from Dan, slotting it bottom shelf, getting it past these Aurora defenders. And if you're on Aurora right now, you're kind of shaking your head, scratching your head, wondering how this Frost team is still in this game. And I'll tell you why. It's because you got a very good twos players on the pitch. Izached and Dan, more insider information for all of you at home, are actually twos partners, and they play twos pretty frequently, so they know how to play around each other. A shot gonna go out. Izached gonna save it away, and they have been so excellent in the 2v3. We'll see how they fare in the 3v3 now. Lasagna Man is back on the pitch and healthy, and I'm wondering, Malo, is this gonna change the outcome?
Well, I believed he joined in the middle of that, and I don't think you're supposed to do that. I think you're supposed to wait until the kickoff or the end of the game. You can't join in the middle of the game. Could be wrong there. We'll have to check that real quick.
Yeah.
But so,
well,
but it, in this case, it may not matter though.
no, yeah. I don't think he was allowed to join while play was happening, but hey, it doesn't really matter anyway, so I'm sure Aurora won't call him out on it. Nice little goal for them, though. A very well-placed shot, and, this is some really good Rocket League that we're seeing from both of these sides. I mean, they're really displaying a high level of Novice League gameplay. So we see a shot kind of go a little bit wide. Dan has to rush back. He's going to get a nice touch. It's now to Taco. Taco gets one, tries to get a second. Fortunately, can't quite find it. Taco, the standout player in Aurora's last play in game, and Demon, the speed demon, puts that one in the back of the net.
Oh man, what Speed's living up to his name now. He is flying on that field.
Man, I mean, having a guy like Speed on your team is so good because he's just so fast, and that's what we saw in that play-in game, that he just dominated the field with this style of play, and that is something that is so crucial if you want to be successful. Unfortunately, he was against my pawns, so that was unkind of you, Speed. But, it really was a great performance by him, and Taco was honestly my favorite player from that game. He put on one heck of a performance, and now it seems like he's about to repeat it here as, shot going a little bit wide, but as of right now, down 3-1, this Frost team not really living up to their first seed potential, but is a Chad. He's the main reason why.
Oh, man. Yeah, Taco there got kind of a little bit of a backward touch, and, it was just enough to, get the momentum for the Frost team and get them a goal there and be within one.
Is a Chad so good. Wait. Oh, wait! Lasagna Man coming right back to answer Aurora.
Oh, man. Just kickoff goals can be brutal, and there's Exhibit A right there. Just immediate kickoff goal. Now we got a tie ball game with less than 25 seconds left.
Should be a good one here, as Izachad displaying why Frost is at that #1 seed. Arguably the best player for this team, and he is definitely showing up and showing out today as Aurora trying to find an answer back and not let this one go into overtime, but as it stands, it's looking like it is Dan. Oh, wait! That was such a big demo!
Way.
Oh, my goodness!
Way. Oh!
It's not going to go in the back of the net. That was so close for Comfort and Malo. After almost a heart attack there, we have overtime.
Oh, my goodness. This series already is leading up to exactly what I thought it was going to be, and oh, man, game 1 overtime. I don't know if my heart can take 7 overtimes here.
Oh, boy. At this point, it's kind of looking like it. And it wouldn't be too out of the ordinary for the Novice League, I feel like. You and I, both Novice League veterans. And it's just kind of in the nature, isn't it? Just some wacky stuff happening, especially in playoffs. That's when it's either, I feel like the Novice first round is either a clean sweep or the most intense Game 7 you've ever seen. There's no in between, Malo.
Yeah, there really isn't, and it's sometimes you think it's going to go one way, but it goes the other. It's all over the place, and that's Novice for you. And I thought he had it snuck by him there, but yeah, it's pretty wild, and that's why I love Novice League, because it's just as exciting with as Titan because of that.
Yeah, and I think that it's such a good storyline because we saw on Monday Diffusion sweeping the Kiwis, who were the 2nd seed. And that was such a big win and such a big thing to sweep the #2 seed coming after your plans. We'll see if Aurora can kind of have that same underdog story here as Speed taking up the side of the wall. Ultimus is up with it. He's going to beat out a defender. Lasagna Man is going to take it off the side. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Lasagna Man was on Wolfpack last season. I'm not quite sure. If he was, I believe he is a champion last season, so good to see him in the Novice League and performing well. Ultimate's rule, he's up with the ball. It's not going to go. Dan gets another touch. It's down the pitch. Off the back wall. It's rolling. It's rolling some more. Oh, not going to quite find anything. Taco with the shot. He's not going to find anything. What a save from this Frost defense. Oh my gosh. How are these balls not going to the back of the net? This is absolute insanity right now, Malo. Wait.
Wait. Taco should get it.
Yeah, okay. Oof. But, Malo, I mean, this is just some crazy Rocket League we're witnessing.
Oh, yeah, now we're seeing a little bit of boomer ball. We're going to need to get a team to slow it down and keep it back at them, because this is only going to probably end bad for one team. And, if you're not as confident in your team to try and, get back and get in position, you probably want to try and slow it down. So I think that's kind of what Aurora did there. They kind of kept it close to them, so that way they could keep control of the ball. And, now we got to set up for a goal there, but didn't make it.
Oh, man. And this game one is any implication of the series to come. And it's going to be a long night. Oh, man. Ultimus. That almost was very deadly for Aurora, but luckily for them, they save it away. And Frost going to go back on the offense here. Feels like Frost has been really just thriving in this offensive zone. They've been playing really well. Izachad with one touch. They'll try to find a second. Taco. They're just out with Dan. Lasagna going to leave it for Izachad. Izachad pops it high. Ultimates can't make the read. Izzo with the shot. Taco with the save. And, oh, man, Taco has been such a crucial player on the defensive side.
He really has. And really... Well, and Izachad squeezes that one in there. I was going to say he really has, and you mentioned he was a breakout player last series, against the Pawns, but he's well rounded. I like Taco in that sense. He's not guns blazing with the goals and the shots. He actually is good on defense too, as we see here with his 5 saves.
Yeah,
but obviously not enough to get the victory for game 1.
I mean, it was kind of just an awkward time to cue you in there for the Taco talk, because who expected an absolute screamer like that to go towards the back of the net? And that is exactly what happened there. A crazy shot from Izachad, and he's been so good this season. I believe he wasn't actually an all-star this season. He was last season, if I remember correctly, but he, in my opinion, probably should have been. He has undoubtedly been a staple for Novice these past couple of seasons, and I think he's just looking for his first chip, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, he's been around the block with some really good teams. I know last season it was with Frost that he just couldn't get it done, and now he's running it back with Dan. So we'll see if the GM and AGM combo goes well. But at this point, Malo, it's all up to the players.
Yeah, it really is. And, Frost did a heck of a job there with a 2v3, a good majority of the game. I'd say about half of it at least. And being able to pull out that victory in overtime. So, Dan almost got that one. Yeah, it's real good job there by Frost. Let's see if they can keep it up in game 2.
We will see if they can. Because as of right now, it looks like Aurora has really great offensive pressure right now, and that's something that is really telling of just how they've been so dominant. I mean, in the offensive zone, when you let Aurora get into the offensive zone, it's just domination from them. But Frost, it's kind of been more of a dominant offensive zone for them. So we'll see which offensive side can have the better game, because so far it's looking like both these teams are coming out swinging, Malo.
Yeah, they really are, and I don't suspect that to end anytime soon. We might see a little bit of a slow up or maybe some boomer ball again, but maybe. Well, I was about to say, don't just Caster's Curse some more, I guess. But yeah, I think we're just going to see a little bit more boomer ball come up here and pace pick up, and then it might slow down again, because they kind of go in waves here. Oh, what a touch by Chad! Just slowed slowed the ball with the top of the undercarriage and just slowed it down to where none of the Aurora members could get to it.
What a great touch from Izzachad. I mean, he's been undoubtedly the star player for Frost in these first 2 games. Been so good. And I'm going to continue to look out for his excellence, but player not to be slept on is actually the GM of the Sub-Zero organization. A man who, he talks. I mean, oh my goodness, wait a second. Dan almost put that one in the back of the net. Now he's going to. A big goal from Dan.
Yeah, Lasagna Man almost had it in there with Izzachad helping, but Dan with the patience there and a good bump by Izzachad getting, I think that was Taco out of the way.
Yeah, as I was saying about Dan, I mean, he talks the talk, but he's the kind of guy to walk the walk. I mean, he is so talented, and it really shows with not even talented as a GM, because arguably he's the best GM in Nemesis history. That's another debate for another time, but he is a really great player, and we're seeing it right now. I mean, he's been so good. But I have to ask you, Mala, because you're a novice. You kind of know how most of this works. Do you think Aurora has a shot to actually come back into this game too, or do you think Frost is just going to take it the rest of the way?
Well, you talk about Dan and all of that, and it's all about the Dan plan. So really, the Dan plan says it's Dan and the Frost team, but you can't count out Speed and Aurora. This squad is a great squad. They just got to do a couple of cleaning up on their rotations and such, and I think they could get back into it. I think they've been doing all right for the most part.
Yeah, so we almost saw a screamer come in, and oh my goodness, Dan! What a shot and what a pass.
Oh man, Dan he was already up there. You know, you could almost argue to a certain extent, because I think both Dan and Speed, you talk about Speed playing up for Hypernova and Prospect, you know, Dan could probably almost do the same exact thing and, you know, hang with them just as well as Speed can, if not better. And you know, to see them down in Novice and be able to, you know, not do, you know, godlike, but not do terrible, you know, the worst you can, you know, being like Crows or someone.
Oh, no way.
Oh,
Dan.
my goodness.
An absolute scorcher. That is ridiculous coming from Dan. With a little bit of attitude is that shot. He's like, yeah, we're not giving you any chance to have this game too. And if this lead stands 2-0 in a series against a team who is already doubted coming into this game, is not a good look. Now, we've seen it, I believe, on Monday. A Diversion versus... I believe they played, who did they play?
Was that Ascension?
Yeah, no.
Arrival? I don't know.
I'll have to look it up. Regardless, they played, they played Pinnacle. Sorry, it was a Rockerman's team. That's why I was confused. And Pinnacle came into the game the heavy favorites. And Diversion looked really strong. It didn't look like, they looked really strong early on, and then they didn't for a couple of games, and that really got to them. But Aurora, on the other hand, they still got some fire left inside of them.
What a beautiful double touch here by Ultimus, passing it to himself, and just, I don't know what that camera angle is, but the director having a little off game there. But real quick, because I think this one's pretty much over as far as game 2. Number one, you want to call a timeout here. Hopefully they do that. You know, we didn't see that too much during Monday's games. So, no. Oh no. Oh man.
Good shot. Oh my
That was
goodness.
What a redirect by Lasagna Man there.
No,
or Taco.
it was a pinch. It was a pinch. Yeah, Speed accidentally pinched it into the back of his own net with a little bit of help, obviously, from Lasagna Man himself. But that's not a way you want a goal to be scored against you, especially in the dying embers of this game, too, that's been not going Aurora's way. Now, Aurora, they came into the playoffs absolutely smacking up on my pawns. Still haven't forgiven them for that. But the thing that really caught my eye about them is they really, really like to hold offensive pressure, and they will do anything to maintain offensive pressure, but it just hasn't been the case here. And I think that's what really is hindering their ability to even really do anything in this matchup. I mean, with 5 seconds left, they are going to lose this game 2 and go down 2-0 in this series. And I mean, against the #1 seeded Frost, can you really blame them, Malo?
No, but there it is. Just as I, called out there, they're going to call a timeout here. So they're gonna use probably this entire 60 seconds to think it out, and then after that we'll do another 60 seconds. But Aurora just could not get going on offense there with only one shot that entire game. But you got to look at it. The bright side is it was 100% goal. 100% goal participation. So that was that's definitely a plus side. And now, while we do have the timeout and this lengthy wait in between, I do want to go back to game 1 with the thing with Lasagna Man and such. So the rules do state that as long as it's before a minute, the team can call a replay. It's actually not the first minute; it's the entire minute, unless there's some sort of playoff difference here that I can't find. But if it's under a minute, including overtime, if the score was tied or a 1-goal difference, they can call for a reset. So, and then there's nothing that says that Lasagna Man can't join back. I keep forgetting about that. I get mixed up with rules. So, Lasagna Man was okay to join back. There's no rule that states he's got to wait until the end of the game or a goal. You can join back as soon as you get back in.
Okay, that's good to know. And as this timeout is about to expire, I mean, any wise words for this Aurora team who, if you were in their position, Malo, and you were talking to them, what would you say?
Like, hey, look, they're coming at us hard. They're going after demos. They're coming after us. We need to spread the ball out, spread ourselves out, and let's pass the ball. Use the entire field to your advantage. And go for bumps and demos on your exits. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that is such a good piece of advice. I really like the demos, especially, man, I mean, back when I was a novice, I was a demo merchant, and it's so good for opening up defenses. It's more effective in novice than I think in most of the other leagues, just based off of people don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to rotate around it, and close one, but is it Chad? He's gonna finish it off. What a pass from Dan.
Oh man, I'm sure Dan meant to score that, but it was either way a fantastic pass because it made both defensive players jump for that ball and left it wide open for Izichad for an easy goal.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, seems for Frost early on in this game, and it's been kind of the case the entire series as we see a ball kind of travel towards the Frost net. Can Taka do anything with it? Unfortunately, he misses his flick. Now it's going to the other end. You have to also take into consideration playoff nerves coming into effect. I mean, you are officially in the playoffs, and you have played multiple games the past week. You have to wonder if that has kind of a straining effect on this Aurora team. And, I think they're doing a pretty good job at holding off this Frost team, but it's not been good enough. So I'm looking to see more from them as we see Speed Demon with a shot. As I say that, Speed Demon giving Aurora a little bit of life.
Oh, man. Finally, something going right for Aurora here, and Speed Demon just sneaks it over Izichad. Izichad couldn't respond in time to jump up and hit that. So, we're tied up now with, a little over or a little under a minute into this first game, and hopefully we can see a little. Oh, man.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Well,
that was beautiful. That was a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the biggest killer I've seen so far with Aurora is the kickoffs have been eating them alive. Like they're not winning very many of them, and I don't know what it is they might be doing, or what they need to do different. But I will say that one player that I'd like to see a little bit, because you talk about playoff nerves, right? The one thing I've noticed the past game or two is that Taco seems to be a little off, and hopefully he's shaken off with that timeout whatever issues he was having, because he definitely took a step back, especially from game one.
Yeah, and we're seeing it now, just the over-rotations from Aurora, and that demo was gross, Dan. You didn't have to do him like that.
Dan doing the people dirty here, and oh man, that was just fantastic.
Wow.
I am not mad at that one bit. Just a fantastic demo by Dan, clearing the way for that goal. Man.
I mean, Dan is basically Miley Cyrus on a wrecking ball. Unfortunately, he can't put that one away. Lasagna Man, though, with a very good shot. That was almost a check his tracker moment. This is a Chad. Gonna take this one. Oh my goodness. Tries to send it past a couple. Oh no, the double commit. Can Aurora capitalize off of this? Speed. Sends it down the pitch. Is a Chad. There to meet him. Speed. Oh, a beautiful counter. Can Taco put it away? And Taco is alive and well, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. That's what I wanted to see out of Taco. It sounds like they're getting their communications up a little bit more, because I've been watching Frost, and I'm watching them in their rotations, and I can see them stopping mid-ball approach to let a different player go that called for it. And right there, finally some communication and some more Aurora going their way with a little over halfway to go here.
Oh, wait. Wait.
Oh, wait.
Speed. Gonna put the tying goal in, and it was off of a Frost mistake, Malo.
Yeah, the very few and far in between, and you definitely have to take advantage of those when those happen, and that's exactly what Aurora did there.
I mean, it is so hard, especially in Novice, going for those high aerials. I am not a mechanical player myself, and I struggle with those all the time, so definitely cannot fault Lasagna Man there, but it's such a...
Oh,
wait,
my.
Dan hit that?
Dan came down on that right in front of Izachad, and got another touch.
Okay, this is unfair. Oh my God. This is unfair. How is this possible? Is Dan cheating? That was crazy.
Well, you remember what I said earlier, talking about how Speed is playing in Prospect a lot. Dan could very well do the same with Flurry and be all right, I think. I think it's pretty safe to say, especially what he's been doing lately. That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. Crazy stuff we're seeing from Speed, and his team has been playing excellent. It's Taco gonna try to get a touch. Dan gonna try to get a touch himself. Unfortunately, can't find it. Lasagna Man with 0 boosts tries to get it past one, but unfortunately not gonna find it. Is a Chad, the defensive side, very stout in the defensive end. 2 minutes left in this game. Dan sends it down the field, gets another one. I mean, he's just everywhere. Lasagna Man sent it down once more. Is Dan there for... There's no way. Off the backboard. Dan tries to find that one. Is a Chad himself. This is ridiculous. This Frost team is a cheat code.
Yeah, I got to pull up the book, because I got to see what buttons I need to press to get this cheat code activated for me. And wow, they are firing on all cylinders right now.
I mean, hey, do you really blame Dan for being this dominant? I mean, last season, Frost had a disappointing semifinals loss, and Dan said, you know what? Screw it. Put me in there for this Frost team. I'll help them win a championship myself, and I don't think Frost has ever looked this good in the past 3 seasons, and they've been a very good team the past 3 seasons. They have looked phenomenal. Now, granted, it isn't versus an 8th seed Aurora team, but this Aurora team, no slump themselves. They are very good, and they honestly could come back in this series, but they're going to have to win this game. There's no doubt about it here. Speed going to take a shot. Down the pitch it goes. Almost a defensive error again, but Lasagna Man going to try to challenge this. Off the wall he goes. A nice little touchdown. Dan going to clear it out for him. We see Ultimus Rule going to take one pop. Over to Izachad. To Taco, and now this is an opportunity for Frost. Lasagna Man. Oh, he can't quite find the shot. And Taco instead, in the other end with Ultimus Rule. Ultimus can't find that one. It's now Chad trying to demo speed. Unfortunately, can't find it. Now it's Dan. Dan has been mechanical all series long, trying to find a pass. Oh, wait, that's going to go.
What a 50.
That was crazy. Speed down the pitch. Chad just has an open net. Is Dan going to take it? He's not going to. Chad. He's been crazy all game, and this Frost team looked ridiculous.
Well, I mean, Chad with his 5th goal a game, it's pretty ridiculous right now what these guys are doing. You can almost say to a certain extent that, you know, Lasagna Man's just filling the 3rd role, and these Dan and oh, nice kickoff goal there.
Wow.
Finally a little something. Still not out of it. We still got roughly 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds left, and it is now a winnable game. What a shot, though, by Taco. Top bins, are you kidding me? Well, Malo, it's crunch time, and you sit back, relax, enjoy this one. I'm going to strain my voice and see what happens. Lasagna Man going to send it to the sidewall. Chad going to try to follow it. Instead, it's going to be Ultimus Rule. Ultimus Rule and Dan. They're going to 50 it out. Ultimus Rule, he could be still up for this. Instead, he's going to go for the bump speed. He's just not there. Oh, no. He could have had a goal there. He's going to try to flick it past one Dan. Down the pitch, the other way, Ultimus Rule popped it up with Dan. Lasagna Man tries to 50 it out. Taco over to speed, gonna waterfall it down, and unfortunately, just not enough time there. And Frost, they have a chokehold on this Aurora squad.
Oh my goodness, Chad just insane that game. And then of course, you know, Dan with his playmaker, that those two, you can definitely tell those two have the chemistry. And here we are, you know, 12 shots to 6, double the shots, only 2 more goals. So, you know, Aurora, you know, isn't getting dusted 100%, but you know, what they need to do is figure out something to do and on offense here. Maybe or defense even, you know, maybe do they try to go for Chad or Dan? What do they do here?
Yeah, that is what I'm wondering myself. I mean, there's just so many things that Frost are doing right. I mean, it's so hard not to compliment them, and it's going to seem like I'm just completely giving it all to Frost, but I can say from personal experience in Novice that it is so hard to have a team like Frost where everybody can play so well, not only rotationally, but mechanically as well, and that's what I feel like they have. I feel like they have that really special team, and regardless of how all the other playoff matchups turn out, this one could be really telling of potentially who wins the championship, because if Aurora can come back and force a Game 7 against a Frost team like this, they could definitely be a championship contender. But as it stands right now, Frost still has a 3-0 series lead for this Aurora team. But let's not forget, Aurora sent Game 1 into a 4-minute overtime. So we'll see if they can have any magic. Of course, it's on Forbidden Temple. Taco can't get the shot off. Chad on the sidewall himself. He's going to grab the big boost. Chad with that demo. Oh my goodness. Demolition Crew coming out for Frost. Lasagna Man with a touch. It just seems like they're faster. Lasagna Man with another one. What a save, though. Chad pops it high. Lasagna Man gonna get a nice little touch. That was such a beautiful touch to buy his team some time. Ultimus Rule with 0 boost. Tries to get a nice little play there. Speed Demon is trying to take it down the pitch himself. Dan across the net. Ultimus Rule just can't be there. Just sitting back on the defensive side. And with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left, Aurora seemed to step it up a little bit with the demo. Oh, just barely misses. Ultimus tries to pass it out. Nobody there for this Aurora team, and they just seem super uncoordinated right now, Malo.
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know if it's the mental right now, you know, being down 3-0 or what. Oh my, I thought that was in there. That was pretty close. If the mental's off because of being down 3-0 or what, but you know, they need to score here and go forward with even possibly another quick answer after that to say, no, we are still in this.
Yeah, that is definitely something they need to look forward to, is speed. Gonna send it down. Chad with the touch himself over to Lasagna Man. Ultimus gonna pop it sky high. Dan gonna get that touch. Dan gonna get another one. Oh my goodness, there's no way. Okay, I was about to say Taco with a nice touch though. Chad and Taco. Applied for the 50. Taco very mechanical player. Haven't really seen a whole lot from him besides that one goal in game number 3. Izachad gonna get demoed out. And, oh, they can't find the back of the net once more. Feels like these demos are working, but the shooting is just not there, Malo.
Yeah, it isn't, and I thought that was going to be a goal there.
Wow.
What a save. Dan putting another screamer on there. You know, one thing that you love to see in a team as the season goes on, and this really goes for both Aurora and Frost, but especially Frost more. You love to see a team go and do really well the first part of the season, but they continually get better. And you love to see a team do that, because that goes back to what you were saying previously, you know, as far as how ridiculously good a team can be when they play and are communicating and all of that. So, you know, right now the defenses on both sides are really great.
Yeah, that is. I mean, that's just really telling. Both defenses are really great. Oh my goodness, pops it high. Dan just not able to be there. But to your point, Frost has been improving all season long. I mean, I remember when I was AGM of Firestorm, they lost to Ignite. Ignite ended up going, I believe, 2-16 on the season. I'm not quite sure their exact record, but it wasn't a great season for them. But they beat Frost, and you want to know why they beat Frost? It's because they weren't playing at 100%. They just looked off. I feel like they felt off against them. I mean, I watched the replays with my Ignite members, and they just didn't look great. And now this is just a whole different Frost team. I'm telling you, they could go the distance. I mean, this is definitely, we're witnessing real greatness. And with 48 seconds left, the team has yet to score, which is super surprising. Taco gonna send it out wide. Dan gonna get in touch himself. Gonna try to get another one. He ends up doing so, but it's gonna fall right back to the earth, but not before Lasagna Man has something to say about it. Taco over to Izachad. Izza try to find one more. Gonna be saved away from Ultimus. Aurora just on the back foot here. Beautiful bump though from Ultimus. Dan, what a pinch. Out to the midfield. Lasagna Man tries to get that, but a pop up. And this Aurora squad has been playing some good defense. Can it last for another 15 seconds? Lasagna Man on the sidewall, gonna give it to Dan. Dan, off the backboard it goes. Taco, gonna pop it high. Back over to Dan, puts off the backboard. Frost gonna play it safe, but maybe not that safe. Oh man, that could have been the dagger for sure. But this is gonna be the dagger. Saves a chance to finish off Aurora in a 4-0 sweep in regulation. This is insanity. What a pass and what a shot, Malo.
This is Rocket League. Oh my goodness, what a series, what an ending to the series. It's unfortunate, heartbreaking for Aurora, because, oh man, you fought and clawed your way through that game, and you just could not get anything done. And, you know, we're back to the one-shot game there, and it's unfortunate. But you know, great play by both teams. Frost is going to be very, very tough to handle, you know, throughout this postseason. I don't know who they are going to face next, but whoever it is going to have a tall task ahead of them.
Yeah, gonna have a tall task indeed. And this matchup went a little quicker than I thought it would be. I thought Aurora would put up a little bit more of a fight here, but they did in a little bit of a sense of where they could kind of compete with Frost, but they did not look like themselves, and they kind of were off rotationally. And I feel like that's because Frost is just that much better. They made Aurora, a very good team in the Novice League, look just not really that great. And that's the key difference here. That is 100% the key difference, and that's what won Frost the series. Whether you like it or not, and that clean of a sweep, I mean, that is so crucial for them to move on to the semifinals.
Yeah, and you know, as casters, we don't try to, and we definitely don't want to be biased here. You know, we might sound biased when we're going through this process sometimes, but when a team is dominating so much, it's you have to try and find the good things. And you know, overall, at like game 5 there, Aurora did great. It was just a great touch there by Dan over to Izachad to secure the victory for game 4 and the sweep. You know, gameplays like that is what can win you championships, is those clutch moments. And tough break for Aurora. Uh, I don't know how or who will be back for next season for that team, but if they can somewhat keep the same team next season, I think we would be seeing a different story if this were, a season ahead.
Yeah, definitely. And Frost, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna pull out stats from anywhere, but I believe this is their third semifinal appearance in a row. Not quite sure. Season 7, I believe they made it to semifinals, if I'm not correct. And then season 8 with Izza Chad, they made it to semifinals, and now they're right back in semifinals, and they have a tall task. Now I'm gonna pull up the novice league bracket for you guys, and I'm just gonna show you a little bit before we leave here what's happening. So with the Frostwind against Aurora, they face either the Wisps or Genesis, and that is going to determine who makes it to the grand final. So very good side of the bracket over there, and then Diffusion obviously 4-0 and Kiwis, and Vikings and Acceleration on the other side. Gonna see who can make it to grand finals against either Frost or Wisps or Genesis. So should be an entertaining one. I want to thank you all for letting me cast for you today, and thank you for both teams for showing up. I know it's a little bit of a late night, but they showed up. They showed out here, and Malo, thank you for coming on such short notice. I really appreciate you.
And no problem, man. It's always a pleasure doing it with you, man. It's fun listening to that soothing voice and you getting just as excited as I do about some of this because novice is just as exciting to me as Titan is.
Yeah, 100%. And as somebody who's been there, it is an absolute delight. And even more of a delight is more Nemesis Gaming League action. And we'll have some for you at a later date, but unfortunately, that date is not today. So thank you guys again. Make sure to sleep well, catch some Z's, guys, and we'll see you guys later. Peace out.